everyone. I'm Frank Mallicoat. I'm an anchor reporter for KTVU Fox 2 here in the San Francisco Bay Area. My guest is the owner of Ace Hardware in Hayward, California, here in the Bay Area. It's been in business for over a century and now closing in our COVID-19 world. Let's say hi to the owner, Jim Wieder. Jim, how are you?
Doing good, and happy holidays to you and yours, Frank.
All right, Jim. Well, I know you're doing well, but a very sad story. Is this a combination of a lot of things and COVID just kind of pushed you guys over the edge?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, COVID certainly was a factor. It's difficult for people to get around these days. They certainly need supplies and the supplies that we offer, but it's also difficult to get people to come work for you when you're dealing with having to wear a mask all day and PPE and 6 feet apart and all the things that you have to do in a post-COVID world. It makes a tough retail scenario just that much tougher. Then you add on some other factors like sky-high rent. You toss in Amazon into the soup too with internet sales, and voila, here's where we are.
Were you able to get any relief from your landlord, or at least those PPP loans?
We did utilize some of those, and frankly, the landlord has different ideas than we do. We negotiated for several months, in fact, more than a year. We had several buyers, but really the contracted buyers. But the problem was always the rent, and Bay Area rent is high. It's really not that surprising. You kind of feel for landlords in that regard. They have pressures with taxes and that sort of thing. So I understand it from their perspective. I also understand it from our perspective. It simply doesn't pencil for us to continue as is. And the retailers that came by to come in and take a look and possibly take over just couldn't justify it based on the rent.
Well, you would think that a landlord would at least give you a break, because getting some money and having the building open beats having the building closed and getting nothing, right?
Yeah, and we're the third full service hardware store within 10 miles of our location here in downtown Hayward that has closed in the last 12 months. So it would make sense to generate some type of rent relief or some type of arrangement in terms of our situation. But as much as we tried, and we tried for a long time, for many, many months, to try to work out something. We got a letter of support from Mayor Halliday. We got a letter of support from our vendors to work out some sort of arrangement. But unfortunately, the negotiations just didn't go anywhere, and we had to make the decision to close.
Yeah. How about the community? It sounds like the mayor and the administration there are behind you guys, but I imagine you got customers, regulars that come in and just can't believe it.
Well, they're disappointed. There's some real advantages to having a downtown hardware store that you can run to, whether it's key copies or COVID relief or PPE or masks and things like that, where maybe a big box store or online just simply doesn't work. It's a real convenience, and it's a real plus for the community to have that option. And sadly, many stores are closing. Retail is a tough business. It's not just hardware. It's a variety of things. Ultimately, the community, Frank, will be the ones that suffer the most, because there's not going to be a replacement here. There's not going to be a replacement up the street, which closed, and 10 miles up the road, which closed. So ultimately, the community won't have that type of full-time dedicated service if they have a plumbing question or paint question that we offered for more than 70 years. This store has been here for 70 years. The building itself is more than 100 years old.
Well, let's talk about some of the history, from George Foreman to local movie stars that shop there. Give us a little history lesson on the building.
Well, this building is as I mentioned, this building is over 100 years old. It's been many things. The office where I'm standing in, or sitting in, I should say, sitting in right now, used to be a boxing ring. And in the 1930s, Max Baer Sr., who was chronicled in the movie Cinderella Man, trained for his fight with Jim Braddock right here, right where I'm sitting. His son, Max Baer Jr., later became Jethro on the Beverly Hills TV show. I told him about the closing. I spoke to him about a month ago, and he was exceptionally disappointed to hear the news. He does remember this area, and this area continued to be a boxing ring for many years afterwards. And in the 1960s, again, right where I'm sitting, George Foreman trained for his oh, excuse me about that, Frank. The radio went off, but we're still open. So things happen. But so George Foreman trained for his Olympic medal fight right here. This has been a putt-putt. It's been somewhat of a carnival up here, like a play area for kids. And then in the 1950s, it became a hardware store, and it's been that way ever since.
Well, I hear what Tom Hanks used to sneak in there on occasion from Oakland, and the Rocks from there. And you said Marshawn Lynch used to come in occasionally.
Yeah, we've had our share of celebrities come through. We've had Marshawn's been through here a couple of times. We've had the numerous encounters with the Raiders here. And by the way, this has always been a Raiders store. True and true. It's always been a Raiders store, not an A's store, not a 49er store. It's always been a Raiders store. And so we've always had a number of Raiders come through here. We have had a couple of actors that have shopped here as well. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is from Hayward, went to Hayward High School, came through here when he was a kid. Tom Hanks, who actually went to school in Oakland, as you well know, high school in Oakland, also came by. So we've had our run-ins with celebs over the years.
How about the building? You guys move out. It's a pretty good size there on the corner in Hayward. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great location. It's right in the heart of, Hayward is in the heart of the Bay, and Hayward has been a great community and great people that live here over the years. And we've really enjoyed our 15-year run here. This building is right in the center of town, and it's 12,000 square feet. It's 6,000 square feet downstairs, 6,000 square feet upstairs. So it's a pretty significant presence in the community. So when news got out that we were closing and the signs are coming down and so forth, a lot of people posted on Facebook. I used to work there. I used to shop there. I've been there as a kid. Frank, we've had 3 generations of customers here. One time I waited on a grandfather, father, and a son who all had shopped here over the years. That was actually this time last year during the holidays.
So what's your emotion now as you talk about the last 15 years? Are you angry? Are you sad? I'm sure you're worn out trying to renegotiate your rent, keep the COVID protocol up. You're closed, you're open. Where are you right now, Jim?
Well, I would have to say I'm just about on fumes right now when it comes to energy level. We've been open every day since we announced that we closed, and we're open pretty much from sunrise to sunset. And so it's a long grind as we close everything out and so forth. It's mixed feelings. In a way, I'm personally looking forward to what tomorrow will bring. Melancholy, and that some of our longtime staff have moved on. Some of our longtime customers, I'll miss them. I'll miss the community, and I'll miss all the good things that are happening in downtown Hayward. There's quite a bit of redevelopment, and that's an exciting part of any process. So I'm going to miss that. That's for sure.
What is likely the last day for the hardware store?
Most likely it'll be on near or around Christmas time, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, something like that. We're closing up shop by New Year's Eve, but we hope to be out before then. And so we've really interacted quite a bit with some people we haven't seen it for a while, quite frankly, and offering up our fixtures and inventory and so forth. It's going to be about another 40 days or so.
If people want to get in touch with you, Jim, to either help or you may have huge sales, how do they get in touch with you to?
Well, the website's still up, so it's haywardhardware.com is the easiest way to get up with us. info@haywardhardware.com is a way to email us. We're open every day, 7 days a week until Christmas. Our phone number and contact information is on the website. We actually do have quite a few great bargains. So I I hope people take advantage of that. And obviously all of our fixtures and memorabilia also are going to be for sale.
Well, we're sad. I've done a few stories down there, as you know, Jim, and you're used to be in our business. So we wish you the best. I hope good health, happy Thanksgiving, and all the best to the folks there in Hayward.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, Frank, and happy holidays. And to all of your viewers, happy holidays from Hayward Hardware.
All right, Jim. That's Jim Wieder. He is the owner of Hayward Hardware, shutting down after decades in business here in the Bay Area. I'm Frank Mallicoat. For more information, you can go to newsnowfox.com as well. Have a good day, everybody.